Okay, hi
Do it,
everyone.
do
I'm
it.
Bjorn. I'm your host for today. Unfortunately, Keo is not available because he's busy doing certain preparation for the upcoming Contenders Cup. So today we are actually, going to be talking about all the action that's upcoming in the following week for the Contenders Cup, as well as certain player profiling, power rankings, things like that. So of course we have our three special guests today. We have Ignideus, and then we have East right below me, and of course we have Crisome on the diagonal of me. So maybe we can do a little bit of quick introduction before we move on. So let's go off with Igni first.
Hello, I'm Ignideus. What's up?
What's up? That's all?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Feel weird talking about myself all the time.
Okay, sure. Okay, how about Is?
What's going on, guys? East, I'm Igni's big brother, and
No, that's
yeah,
not even remotely
that's
true.
very true. So yeah,
Don't even look remotely alike, actually.
Very nice.
stepbrother, fine, whatever.
I'm stuck. Steph, bro.
Okay, I guess it's mad. Hi guys, it's Crisome here, your Papega boy. We're moving on.
Alright, sure. Okay, so well, we already know what we're here for today. So we're going to be talking about the SEAO's Contenders Cup, which of course will be happening on the 24th of October, 11 a.m. SG time, 3 a.m. UTC. So that's where all the action's happening. If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but the format is of course very different from the West one. I mean, we only have 8 players instead of 16, and we are doing a double elimination bracket, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think as of now the brackets aren't publicized yet, so I guess we can't really talk about that in terms of like matchups and things like that. So I guess all we can do today is to pretty much just talk about SVO as an overview for 2020, and then we can move on into the individual players and then what are we expecting and things like that. So maybe of course we have our casters from the SEAO's contenders cup, I mean SVO as a whole. So maybe Ignian is you've been casting about the tournaments throughout the year. Maybe you can give us a little bit of like your own thoughts, your reflections, what you felt about the year so far leading up to Contenders Cup.
You wanna start with that, buddy?
It's a pleasure watching competitive Shadowverse in the SVOs because when I go on ladder, everyone's really bad. So then when I go,
Whoa,
when I go on the
whoa, whoa.
when I watch a tournament, it's like, oh man, people are actually good at this game. That's crazy.
It's
Wow.
possible to be good at a game that. All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, but yeah, I've had a lot of fun watching the tournaments proceed throughout the year. Had a good mix of old faces and new faces, and I've been watching the SEAO region for years now, and like when we first started, there was like no teams. It was just a bunch of random dudes, and then now it's come so far. So I'm really happy about everything that's happened this year so far. What about you, Heath?
Yeah, I don't have as much experience watching the SEO region like you have, but yeah, this is I think the first full year that I've been around. It's been nice to actually get the full picture of what's gone down from January till now, right? Like to have the entire storyline rather than last year when I came in around March. I didn't have the full storyline of what had happened or what had transpired. So yeah, it's nice to see the actual stories build out, and there's been some really interesting stories that have come out during the SEO region this year, which I think we're gonna have a good discussion about a little bit later.
Okay, well, of course, apart from the casters, we do have like our fellow competitive players as well. So Crisome's been a pretty veteran player as well. He's been playing for pretty much all the SVOs as far as I remember. So maybe Crisome, you can like do a little bit of sharing of what you felt so far for the 2020 SVO season.
For me this year, personally, it's been like the best I did. Sadly, I'm like tiebreaker, like off from the Contenders Cup. So
Yeah.
there's sadness, but
y'all, that was bullshit. He should have got that spot. I'm sorry, my
No,
good. My
that
bad.
was rough.
no. All
Free
props to
Crisome.
like
Free Crisome. Free my mans.
Papega. I was supposed to be the Papega, but whatever. But yeah, so basically this year for me is that I think I tried the hardest. Like there were non-stop scrims, there were non-stop ladder for me. There were meetings every weekends, but for Tom Dean Breakers, especially that kind of thing. So it was actually a very try hard year for me. And then I got a good result, I would say. I won't be very salty about not getting to contenders. I mean, getting top 10 overall this year is also a pretty good feeling. Getting second place for April Cup is pretty good. Getting like good results overall in Swiss, like getting 5-2s and 6-1s are also a good feeling. So I would say like it's a good year for me, and it's not easy. Everyone that I fought in the tournament are not like easy game, easy money, like what you say in ladder, right? No, it's not. Because like for example, IEV, I'm gonna like bring up IEV. I'll actually like be saying that last time I do like think that it's just a meme team. But no, they are full of like very good players as well. Although they are not in the top profile, so there is that. Like everyone is good in my opinion so far.
Mm-mm.
In 2020 when I fought them.
Yeah. So, all right. So, speaking of IV, like there's that meme, right, where they seem
The
to
whole
be
kampong.
yeah, like they appear in all the top eights, like almost every
Hmm.
top eight for like almost every single month. So although I have to say it's a little bit like sad and unfortunate that actually surprisingly none of them actually made it for the Contenders Cup
Yeah.
for the year as well. So I guess it was just a matter of like I guess it was just yeah, it's just they were
But
widespread, they were
I
all
want
there. They had good representation,
yeah.
but just like not like cream of the crop yet, I guess.
No, yeah, I think it
Yeah.
will take next year. I will predict
Mm.
next year they'll be good because like for me, even though like I started 2019 being like
Mhm.
so-called good because I topped in 2019.
Mhm.
No, not 2019, sorry, 2018.
2018.
It took me like for an entire year to figure out what do I need to practice, what do I need to prepare for SBO to only figure out in this year 2020 to showcase my results. And it's not gonna be easy. I think everyone needs to like prep and like think about what they need to do for the entire year. It's not just 1 month; it's 9 months where you need to be constantly topping or constantly showing results, which we're going to talk about later, I guess.
Yeah, we do have certain interesting statistics to share with regards to like consistency and performance as well. Okay, so
Mm.
maybe I can touch a little bit on I think as far as amongst us like Ignis been here like the longest. He's been casting for SVO since day one, right? So we also understand he can like Ignis will agree with me, right? Like this year is probably like the year where we had like so many good players. Like even the top eight feels so stacked as compared to like 2018, 2019.
Yeah, I mean, just look at last month. It was insane.
Yeah, yeah, it was so
Last week
exciting,
was
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at the names, like, wait, all of them are in the top 8 in this
Mhm.
one? Like, what the? What?
You can swear, man. It's fine.
Nah, dude, I gotta keep it in check.
Keep
Susan's
in
gonna find me
check.
otherwise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that, well, let's just review and like summarize a little bit of the Contenders Cup finalists, since there might be people who aren't aware yet. So let me just go straight into um, the image right here. So of course, when we have like S5 Curry making into the World Grand Prix with direct qualifications, and
My
of
boy
course,
Mao!
yeah,
Finally!
yeah, man. Right.
He
So
deserves it, dude.
yeah,
I
and then
love
of
him, man.
course,
I love him.
we do have the finalists. So according to this list, I'll just go down. So we have Kyo from Team Manasearch, we have Illumina 666 from HSK, and then we have Dreamlife from S5, Sad Feeder from TK, Sia from Temple Storm, and then BMA from S5, Midnight from Team Ref, and of course Zai from TK. So pretty good balance. Like you at least see like one player of each team being represented there. One nice interesting thing that I would like to share as well in terms of nationality. We actually have like a very good spread. So we pretty much have like one from like every country in a way. Like BMA is from Australia, Kyo's the only Indonesia representative, Illumina's the only Thai representative, and Midnight's for Philippines, Asia's for France, and of course Zai for Vietnam. So the only like country with like two representatives this year is actually Malaysia with both Set Feeder and Dream Life.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's okay, though, because Mao Sama is Indonesian. He's in the World Grand
Yeah,
Prix.
so he's
He's
already
in the
in. But for
world.
content,
You know,
yeah,
hey,
so
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey,
Flex here, here,
flexing the
I
Indo
still
power
proud of my
there. Okay, so with that, I guess we can just touch on the tier list that actually Crisome worked on. So I believe if Kyo's actually lurking in the chat right now, he should be dropping the link pretty soon. So we can just look into these tier lists. I believe you guys have also taken a look at it and are probably look at it right now. So the current tier list that Crisome actually did is his power ranking tier list, but of course it's kind of based on stats, not very biased. He did try to quantify his ratings and things like that. So of course we do have things like accomplishment, the consistency, the experiences. Right. So right on top of the table we do have Set Feeder. So being like the top class player, like triple S all the way according to Crisome. So what do you,
Yeah,
what
boy.
yeah, what do you guys think, man? Like
Sad
warranted?
Feeder is insane. He's insane. Year after year, he's
Yeah,
like what? What? He's just crazy. Whenever I see his name in a top 8, I'm like, oh, it's him again. All right.
pretty much like every season. When I say
Mhm.
season, I'm talking about like expansion. He got a top 8 at some point, which is kind of wild to think about. Like that's pretty consistent.
Mm.
Yeah. I also want to say that for Set Feeder, right? The only thing stopping him for 2018 and 2019 contenders was literally exam. This man literally can't join Contenders Cup, can't go down to Singapore because of exam. I messaged him, yo, why aren't you coming down? Oh, exams. Yeah, I'm just okay.
Oh,
Oh man,
Wow.
yeah, I
Just
I
drop
have
out.
commitments.
What's wrong with that?
that's
Just
cap.
drop out,
That's
dude.
cap. Kids, if you're listening to Igni, believe him. You can literally fly. Go outside, jump off a cliff. You can actually fly, kids. You can transform into a car, and all your dreams can come true. Quit school, play Shadowverse for the rest
Oh
of your life.
my, yeah. Are you just using
I-
Igni as a front to
I-
carry out this
I don't know.
message
How
right
old is
now?
Sad Feeder anyway? He's like 13. Like, what are you doing? Like,
Oh,
what's
no,
the importance of the
he-
exam anyway?
No,
No,
he's uni. His parents paid for the uni, so
Listen, you can win $1 million. $1 million.
Then become a day trader. Bam, you're set for life.
Yeah.
Just like, isn't there like a thing where you can delay your exams? Isn't that an option?
nah.
Just do that.
I'm pretty sure he's not allowed to.
I'm not sure if there's like a retake. Like I'm sure certain schools do that, but I'm not too sure about
No,
the arrangement for him.
If it's high school, yes, but he's not in high school. That's the problem. Uni is rough.
You missed it, you're screwed, right?
Yeah, uni is rough.
All right, so
All I'm saying is that Igni's gonna make a great father someday.
Yeah, man,
Someday.
just drop out. Easy clap.
all right, so speaking about Sad Feeder and his like accomplishments, let's just take a quick look at it. So for 2020, he actually finished second place in the January Cup, and then he topped 8 for March, and then followed by 2 semi-final like finishes in the June and September Cup. So that's pretty good. And of course, before that, he's been a force to be reckoned with. He has multiple like top 8 finishes in 2018 and 2019, and of course he did finish in the World Cup for the 2018, but of course unfortunately due to the whole school circumstances, he had to like pass down the baton. I think for that following year we had like a triple pass down baton, so like Keldia, who was fourth for that particular World Cup, was the one that actually went.
Hilarious.
And
It was
then
so
he won.
hilarious.
Yeah, that year was
Holy
weird, man.
You wanna go? Nah. You wanna go? Nah. You wanna go? Okay, yeah, sure, why not?
he ended up in contenders because like 3 people in front of him dropped out, and then he won. And he
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
make the
amazing.
most of the opportunity, right?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's move along down the list. I'm just going to flash this next detailed list since it's already sorted out, so you can actually see like a bigger summary of like the finishes and things like that. So of course, next in line, we do have Dream Life, also another very familiar face. Dream Life was also, I believe he was in Contenders Cup for 2018, right? But not in
Bjorn,
2019.
is this the correct? Is this the correct?
Yeah. This is the one with the breakdown. Is it not sorted?
Yeah, it's sorted.
Yeah. So we can just go with this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dream Life, of course, according to Crisome, he's under what tier is this? This is tier. Yeah, tier S. Okay, maybe we can just look at the summary again. So here we go. Sorry about it. Alright, so in tier S we have like what, Dream Life, Kyo, and SEAO, the 3 of them.
Yep.
Right, so maybe Crisome can tell us a little bit more about like the 3 players, like starting from Dream Life.
Alright, so for me personally, Dream Life has been like the guy that grinds tournaments as hard as anyone. Like 2018, he's in Contenders, we all know that. 2019, personally speaking, he had like a very rough time trying to figure out what is his strats, like trying to figure out how to practice and etc. And this year, he told me, you know what, I'm just gonna play for fun. Screw it. Let's play for fun. Let's see how it goes. Boom, Contenders Cup. And then second player is SEAO, right? SEAO, I met him once in real life in the I think we also met him, right? Bjorn, one
Yeah,
time.
of course.
Yeah, we met him. Pretty nice guy to chill with. And then I didn't really like research much about him. The only thing I know is that his name is everywhere when people talk about like good players in general. And like surprisingly speaking, if you guys look at the statistics, he only made it the top 8 twice, and he didn't get any additional points in the top 8. this means that he didn't get like extra points like Set Feeder or Dreamlight, where they got second and first, they basically got a lot of points and they're able to like qualify for Contenders Cup easier. While Asia needs to consistently have good results. Like you look at Asia's results, right? His results are either for 4 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins, 5 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, 5 wins. Those are very, very consistent results. This means in average, he will win more than 5 times every month, which is very, very, really good. You're guaranteed 5 points every month. Like, if you're guaranteed 5 points every month, this means you are 45 points. I myself am 9th. I am 46 points. So that just shows that if you just constantly get 5-2 above, you probably can make it to Contenders with a bit of like top 8, etc.
I'd like to say that SE in general is probably probably the best player who didn't get enough spotlight this year. And I blame Igni.
Hey.
Oh, is it the curse?
Yeah, the caster's curse, right?
I look forward to the day you guys meet. I'm gonna grab a bag of popcorn and you guys are just gonna box it out in the ring. Because
I always cheered on Essia and then he loses. How's that my fault? Come on, man.
You sound guilty when you said it.
Right. Okay. So well, I did try to speak with a couple of the players as well. So of course, moving on, let's go down the line again. So with Dream Life, here's his finishes, as you can see on the screen right now. I'm just not gonna repeat myself. But one of the interesting things is that Dream Life, like he like what Crisome say, right? He decided just to have fun this year. And when I was speaking to Dream Life, he actually there were actually points in time where he was like pretty disappointed with himself, and there were times that he did really kind of like considered retiring and just dropping out of Shadowverse. But well, this is kind of like a true story. But he did tell me that when he was like kind of like at his ends, he discovered a VTuber by the name of Suisei. Yeah. And that whole story of that VTuber was what inspired him to get back into action again.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. The VTuber insert, right?
Who are you playing to inspire?
Because I actually didn't want to say it out, but Bjorn had to bring it out. It's actually a real thing, so
yeah, it is a real thing. I mean, come on, man. Like this is a good opportunity to just like talk and like share about everyone else. So you might as well. Okay.
I mean, if it helps my man, I don't mind. Because really, Dream Life has been very, very sad about his performance in 2019. That I can vouch. So if he's happy in 2020, I'm happy for him. End of story.
Yeah, I mean, people find motivation in different places. So I mean, if he found it there, then it's as weird as that is. I mean, he did well.
Yeah. So of course, moving on to Asia, like we say, he's very consistent this year, even though he only like made 2 top 8s, but as it's been proven, like consistency is all you need to be able to make it in Contenders Cup. But of course, prior to that, he was also a Euro Contenders Cup finalist as well, right? Like he made it into the Contenders Cup for Europe last year, and he was also the WGP representative for the Europe region last year as well. So we'll see if he's able to like do a run back again and be able to like win off this Contenders Cup to make it to this year's one. Alright, so of course, the other notes I had, I guess Igni kind of like brought it up already, the whole curse thing in top 8. So let me just move along. Yeah. Alright, so who was the other guy?
There was one more guy that we forgot to talk about. We cut off. Oh no.
BMA.
No!
Okay, go ahead, Crisome. Tell us more about BMA from your data.
Oh yeah, wait. Let me just add up my tier list again. Wait, we missed out Kyo, right?
Oh right, Kyo.
Oh wait. Wait, are we going to a tier list or are we going to the?
We're going through the tier list.
Oh yeah, tier list. I missed out Kyo, cause
Okay, so let's touch on Kyo then.
So Kyo is also another S tier player in my tier list because basically, Kyo is the only guy that if you look at consistency, right, it's very funny. This dude be like first month only won 2 times and dropped. And then the other months will be like, okay, I 4 win. And then suddenly in March, 7-0 and winning the whole thing. And then he goes back to like 5-2. And then he goes back to lose 2 wins and just dropped. And then in July, 2 wins and dropped. And then suddenly out of nowhere in September, got second. Like, what's up with that? Like, consistency-wise, that's like very weird. Sorry to say that. But despite the consistency, look at the accomplishment this man did. getting like so many tops and also winning one SEAO this year, and then getting second in the last year, which is very crucial for him, it's just incredible. Like that shows like even though you're not maybe you're not consistent in that particular month, or no, sorry, you're not consistent overall the year, but you're really good at that particular month, and if you win or if you get second, you can make it to contenders as well. That's also another way that you can make it to contenders. Unlike road that STR took like I'm just gonna get multiple wins in Swiss and hope for the best. While Kyo here, I'm just gonna win, and then eventually find my way in contenders. So there are different ways that people can go to contenders like what Kyo did. And Kyo also, experience-wise, is also very, very experienced, making the contenders last year as well. And then I think prior to that, also top 16 Singapore circuit, same like me, top 16. I'm also top 16 Singapore circuit, just the saying there. But yeah, so yeah, like overall, Kyo is just very, very experienced in my opinion as well. So being able to top and I play for a very long period of time.
Yeah, I mean, Kyo's also the only other player that has the most top 8 finishes alongside with Set Feeder. So both of them, they both have like 4-time top 4 finish, top 8 finish this year. Of course, Set Feeder is known for the Swordcraft god. He's always playing Swordcraft, and of course you have Kyo on the other side, who is the Runecraft god. He's always like almost playing Runecraft in like all the tournaments that he's been playing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So how about like Igni and is like any inputs, like based on what you've seen through the year, how do you feel about the players and things like that?
So I have to say this, not because this is the show. Well, welcome back, Igni. You anyway.
I've been here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
Igni's back. Holy shit. Good riddance. I was scared for a moment.
Not because I'm here on Team Mana Surge's thing, but Keel is probably my favorite player to watch in all of SEAO. Because when
Wow, I see how it is. Okay. All right.
I was going back to some of the footage actually earlier today, some of the past SPOs when like Kyo had won, and oh man, the games are so good. But yeah, other than that, I mean, yeah, his results speak for themselves, right? He ended up dropping after 2 losses early on in the year.
Oh yeah.
And then the end of the year he just picked back up. He got a ton of steam and just like pressed forward through to the Contenders Cup. So I mean, yeah, he's definitely good. He's fun to watch. I mean, why wouldn't you root for the guy?
We have a Kyo simp here right now.
Yeah. I mean,
Just because
Kyo,
he's in chat.
that guy's the worst, man.
Just because he's in chat. That's crazy.
He punches babies.
That's crazy.
Nah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. All right.
There's somewhere in between simp and slander. I think you need to find that middle ground. I don't know if you.
All right. Okay. So let's move on to like the remaining players for the tier list. Of course, they're all in A tier. So according to Crisome, we have players like BMA. This guy has been there every single year as well. Of course, we have
Isn't
Zai.
it Bima? That's his name.
Yep. BMA.
Yeah.
Bima?
That's motto, man.
Brendan Ma.
Yeah.
Brandon,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
it is
his name.
name.
I think it was Challenge Master
Government,
like
dude.
earlier this year,
That's
right?
He was Challenge Masters, right?
Yep. Of course, we have
Yeah.
TK Zai, and then of course we have Midnight Ref, as well as HSK's Illumina 666. So yeah. Okay. So maybe maybe Crisome can just tell us a little bit more about them as well.
Alright, so for Bima, right, I was shocked to put him in A. I thought he'll be in S, or even SSS. Like, I'll be very surprised. So, for reason why he's in A is because of the accomplishment. Surprisingly, this year, he didn't really, like, perform really well this year. Because when I say accomplishment, I meant only this year. I don't mean about his past accomplishment. But when we talk about his past accomplishment, right, he probably topped a lot that we're going to talk about later. Like, you see, right, SEA only got first in 1 month. That's pretty good, right? But then, after that, you never see this man in top 8 anymore. What happened? He just disappeared from the surface of
You mean
top
Bima?
8. Yeah, Bima.
Bima.
Yeah,
He just disappeared.
you said SCF for a second.
Oh, I say, oh, my bad. But Bima, like, he just disappeared. But then you look at his consistency, right? He is pretty much, like, always 5-2. The only time he had the worst result was probably his World Upload April, which is only 3 wins, and then that's it. And I want to like bring guys' attention that if you guys notice, right, every time in the beginning of the expansion, most of these players don't make it to top. They do make it top 8, sorry, but like, most of these players don't really do well. Like you look at World Upload, none of them got 6 wins, and then you look at Fortune Hand, none of them got 6 wins. It's because that this period of time, players can't find like consistent lineups to play or consistent decks. It's still the beginning of the meta. So it's very interesting to see that if you can find the best deck, or you feel like I can win during April and July, which is the first month of expansion every year, assuming side games doesn't change how they release expansion, you can probably win. Like for me, I got second in April World Uproot. I'm gonna just suck myself up. So I got second because
what?
I got second because for me,
You gotta get some ribs taken out for that one, man.
I gotta put myself out there, dude.
Gotta take out the lower 2 ribs, man.
For me, in April, right, I discovered that I was very good with Magblood, although people would want to say the deck is not skill-based, but whatever. I was pretty good with the 3 decks, and I was very confident in April. So, there was that. So, like, it's not easy to find consistency. But then in May afterwards, you will find, like, people playing, like, consistent lineup, because they discover, like, this is how it works, and then they just play and they talk. So, there is that interesting thing.
You know what? That's a good point, Crisome. Like, there's something to be said when the meta's unstable and people are really hard up to find like what counters what, like what decks do I bring to counter like the main meta decks. Things are kind of all over the place, and players who can make that can basically bridge the gap during that new expansion month tend to do even better or almost solidify a spot in Contenders Cup based off of their points alone, because those months are super important, right? And if they're good in those months, they're definitely gonna be good in the months afterward. Who was it last year? Was it Yahiko who did that? I think he brought like Roach and Mysteria.
Mysteria Rune, yeah.
To one of the SVOs, and he murdered people with it because they had no idea what they were doing with decks, and he just felt comfortable with it. Right?
Yeah, that's basically what you say. Like, if you can find a comfortable deck, you can probably like win it all. Like Mysteria Rune was basically at that time, everyone thought about it's shit. It's why would you bring that deck? And then he just murdered everyone, like you would say. Like everyone just he's a genius.
Yeah, I guess it's
so
partially
smart.
abusing the fact that people didn't practice against the matchup. So like when they had to actually go against it, they had no idea what hit them.
Yep, correct.
That's true.
That's true. And then moving on to Bima as well, I want to finish that. His experience as well is very, very like well known. Like we know that he has some controversy, but whatever. Then along the year, right, he had like very, very good tops in general, being Contenders Cup 2 years in a row. Is he the only one?
I think he made
SEO?
Contenders every year, man.
Every year, right?
Yeah.
He's the only one, right, for
That's
SEO.
impressive.
For C at least. Is there anyone else for C that made it every year?
Every year? Probably just Bima, to be honest. Like,
Yes, it's Beamer, right?
right, cause like the scene was pretty new then, and Bima was probably one of the few veterans that's been playing since day one. I mean, we might have been able to factor maybe set feeder, but the school thing, so he had to give it up, right? So the one that
he had to
actually
give it
make
up.
an appearance like every year was Bima.
Yeah. So so Bima has been topping, etc. Like this man just speaks of experience, and every time when you talk with, I believe most of us talk to him. Every time you talk about the meta, he has like different approach and views on the meta, and it's like, just because someone is some deck of tier 1 doesn't mean that you have to bring it, you can counter it, etc. So like in terms of experience, I think Bima would bring us a lot of like interesting games in my opinion. So I do hope that my tier list doesn't make people think, Bima sucks. No, it's just because the way I rate players this time is the accomplishment is an important factor for me, because what matters is this year, right? So he didn't really perform that well this year. Only one SBO wins, and then he disappeared. That's it.
Yeah, I remember he was pretty consistent throughout anyway. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
Bima's a
consistent.
pretty nice guy. I mean, granted he's like a pretty big keyboard warrior online, but he's such a softie offline. Like he's such a nice guy.
Definitely
Yeah.
a difference of meeting Bima online in a chat room or like in Twitch or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and meeting Bima, face to face.
Yeah, it's like two
100%.
different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a pity like we can't have contenders like in person this year, because it would have been great to be able to just like meet up everyone again, just for everyone to get to know each other better. It's always
Yeah,
something
no
that
karaoke this time.
Yeah,
No
no karaoke,
karaoke.
but I guess we have to make do with like an online one or something.
Damn.
Right, okay, so who was the other player that we have not touched on? Let's see.
After
Zai?
that,
Yeah, let's
Zai,
move on to
right?
Zai, yeah.
Yeah,
Zai
after
Lolo.
Zai, right? Yeah. So Zai is the guy that took my spot. Just saying.
He's still
Okay.
mad. He's still mad.
Of course he's mad.
Proper Zai,
It's-
like,
It's the guy that took his spot, and it's the guy from Team Ref, which was where he was from.
I don't know.
no,
TK Zai,
no,
right? TK
Zai
Zai.
is Twilight Knight.
Twilight Knights?
Yeah, Zai is
TK
Twilight
Zai.
Knight.
Oh shit,
TK
means I
Zai.
mixed it up. Ah, okay, sorry
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
alright. It's alright. It's alright. So Zai, okay. So I actually had to dig a bit of Zai, talk a bit, etc. His experience is quite okay as well. Like compared to the other two people that we're gonna talk about later. In terms of experience, maybe I put it a bit lower than Set Fader and Dream Life because he didn't really top much in 2019, and in 2018 the only notable one he did was Wildcard third place, which is actually not bad because the reason why I preference that Wildcard in 2018 is very, very like notable is because of the format. It was a 2-leg 0 ban, and it was immediately after 1 week of the expansion, which everyone was just figuring out what to play. So it was chaotic. It was a time where we also had like 3 nerfs afterwards. I remember it was I know not 3 nerfs. I don't remember what was the nerfs, but Bloodcraft got nerfed, Shadowcraft got nerfed. It was a time of Arcus, the Omen, the chaotic Dark Feast bat, the chaotic what else was there? Arcus being rampant with the Nicola combo. It was just a chaotic period of time. And then so it was very hard to figure out the meta at that point. And also there's also this Jane, the dragon girl. I forgot what his name is. The waifu girl. Galmio, being rampant, not once per turn, dealing 3 damage. Woo, it's easy gaming. So yeah, it was a very chaotic time. So for me, anyone at top during that period for Wildcard is very, very good. Because you're able to just show yourself that, despite this chaotic meta, I'm able to prove myself.
Yeah,
and then in 20...
No, I was going to say for that wildcard, he also passed down the
he
ticket.
also passed down the ticket. So technically, he is in contenders if you want to put it that way. Technically. So yeah, and then in 2019, he did no tops, which I was surprised to find out that he didn't top in 2019. He did like okay, like he did like okay, like 5-2s, and then like some months he didn't really get 5-2s. So it's there. But he definitely had experience because he was in Twilight Knight for quite a long time. And for me, maybe I have a soft spot for like the 8 original teams. But anyone from there usually have like experience because the players in there will share their experience among themselves. So for me, maybe I have that bias that if you're in a team, your experience is probably better. And then for consistency wise this year, ZY also did okay, like I mentioned, typical 5-2. Like if you guys see like across the board, most of these players have to like consistent 5-2s. You can't just go 4-3-4-3. It's not gonna work unless you're Kyo. The only guy that has this anomaly, like standard deviation, how standard deviation works is that if you're closer to 0, this means that the same times you get the results, like I'm assuming 5-2s, are probably better. And Kyo has the highest standard deviation, which is very inconsistent if you talk about statistic wise. So, but he did make it. So like I said, you don't have to follow like what everyone's doing. Everyone is doing like, I'm just gonna 5-2, and maybe top once or twice and earn the extra points and call it a day. But Kyo didn't do that route. So ZY did that route. He did it. He has the most consistent. You see, standard deviation 0.7. This means that he is constantly average wins of 5 every month. Like I say, he's 46 points. You just need to get 5-2 every month, 45 points. Close enough. Yep. He made it. And then, as I already talked about his experience, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, Zai for me has always been quite an enigma, right? Like, he only like appeared in the top 8 twice, and then for the rest of the year, it's like he was just pretty quiet. He's just doing his thing in the background in Swiss, and then he just doesn't make it to top 8. And then because you don't make it to top 8, that's where you lack the exposure, right? You because you don't you don't appear on stream, you don't appear on camera. So I guess he's like considered one of the dark horses then for this year, I suppose. Or what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, when you're that consistent and you somehow just don't get to the top 8 every month or on a consistent basis, it's a situation like SEA, right, where we know you're good, you just didn't get enough shine, basically.
Yeah.
How many times you get to the top 16 bracket, you lose one time and then it's over?
Yeah.
Like that's painful.
It's super painful.
Ouch.
When I talked to Kyo earlier, a couple days ago, I asked him what he thought about ZY, and he's like, "I have no idea. I don't think I've ever played him." So it's gonna be a fun contenders cup.
Yeah, and once again, it's a pity that we don't get to meet each other in person. If not, we probably would have been able to get to know him a little bit better as well.
True. But hey, it's current world event, Bjorn.
Yep, no choice.
Things happen.
It's fine. Okay. Let's move on to like
Make
the
sure
other
you don't
guys.
say the actual name.
Yep.
Because it's going on YouTube, right?
Yep. Right. Yeah. So
Yeah,
other than
also,
yeah.
before I want to move on to Midnight, I also want to say that among all the teams, I personally think like maybe people, okay, most of us would think that S5 is like one of the best, but I still think in terms of SEO region, Twilight Knight is probably the best. They have
Probably.
like overall, they have Yaiko, they have Stakes, they have most
Satfeeder.
weakers,
Satfeeder.
Satfeeder, most weakers. They have a lot of player names that you know, recognize that even though they don't see on stream, you know that they are very, very strong in general.
Oh man,
Because they-
if you join the community tournaments often, like TK's
Yeah.
been wrecking the MS Cups, man. Like they're always there. So if,
Yeah.
you know, do take the opportunity to like join all the other community tournaments as well. That's where you get to get to play with all these players, have some experience against them, share some pointers, things like that.
yeah.
There's always the joke about TK. That's because they
yep.
keep making it
Team-
top 8 all the
team.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
They're all strong. They're all killing each other. Like there's no one else to fight if it's just you and your boys.
Yeah,
Mhm.
man.
It's so lonely at the top.
So-
Yeah, it
I
is,
see
it
no
is.
god up here except for me.
Bruh. Okay. So let's just move on, I guess, right?
Mhm.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
you can
for
talk about Midnight then.
So Midnight for my ex team ref. So let's see. Midnight in terms of competition this year, he did really well, I would say, because being in top 8 is good enough, but being able to win in the top 8 bracket is another thing. Because after you win, right, you get that extra point you needed for Contenders Cup, like for your points. And if you look at Midnight's consistency, just let me check again. He's also pretty consistent, like being able to get very decent results, like 5-2s, 4-2s, 6. Even in May as well, 6-1, 5-4. There's only 1 month, which is February, he got short, which is the 3 wins, but that doesn't matter because he basically being able to take advantage of the first month. Like I mentioned, first month is a very hectic month, and he went 7-0, and he's the only, if I'm not wrong, he's the only player that brought Amatas that month. And we all know about Amatas,
Alright.
you know.
Yeah.
Amatas is that one deck where, I draw Amatas, but being able to pilot it, being able to get 7-0, and being able to like get 4th and 3rd in that same month, pretty impressive. And then being able to be very consistent as well throughout this year, being able to earn that contender slot. And then we're moving on to experience. Experience-wise, not so. I talked to Mint about this. Now go by Suyu. I'll still call you Mint. I don't care. You're not called Suyu. You call Mint to me forever. So when I talked to Mint about Midnight, wait, let me just bring up the conversation. I actually
Sure.
don't remember.
I mean, Midnight is probably one of the other low profile player
Yes,
that I
very
know
low
of. Like to me, like both Zai and Zai and Midnight are like the super low profile players this year. Okay, maybe while Crisome's looking up for his
Yeah, I found it.
conversation logs. Yeah.
Okay, I found it. So so he started in 2019. Not
Mhm.
very much experience in my opinion, because he started last year, still a bit. And then he only topped twice this year and didn't top last year. But he did bubble a lot. Bubble means you didn't make it to top 8, like what East and mentioned, that you may be good, but sadly you just lost in the tiebreakers,
in,
or
yeah.
you just lost the money cut. But yeah, sadly. So he is pretty like impressive in that sense also. So yeah, like I personally I don't know much about him,
Mhm.
because I don't talk much to him. I don't talk or play with him a lot. And then the only thing I can say is Rev has a reputation of being able to like perform very well in high stake tournaments. Like you look at Ishiro just winning, being able to qualify for WGP this year. And most of the rep players in EU are also very respectable. So EU players and SEO players in the same team usually work together to discuss and practice. So I believe that with that help, it's able to put Midnight into a good position to like do pretty well in contenders, and I look forward to see his performance.
Yeah, I guess even more so, especially like with usually like I feel like the relationship between like the European team and the Asia teams are a lot closer, but of course that's because due to time zones, right? With like the 6-hour difference, there's still like kind of like a good window to work things around with. Of course, other interesting about Midnight that I found about is that he actually played like Yu-Gi-Oh competitively previously, and he actually represented the Philippines in the Asia Championship. I think quite a couple of times as well. And what inspired him to actually play in Shadowverse is that he got into it after he watched the 2018 WGP. So maybe he was already kind of getting into it, but then after watching like the WGP in 2018, that's where he really like decided to go for it.
Oh,
He had
thank
the
God.
1 year, he had the 1 year training arc, and then
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the reason why he's playing Shadowverse is because he watched this VTuber, and I'm like, not again.
No,
I
no,
could-
come
I
on.
could feel it. I thought that's what you were gonna
No, no, no,
say.
no, no. Only Dream Life has that story, yeah, but yeah,
Again, here
everyone.
we go again.
I found hope in a VTuber.
Hey man,
No, 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 no. I like my VTuber, but that doesn't make me like some ambassador for them. Yeah. Alright. Okay. So.
Ambassador Bjorn.
Yeah, man. Alright. So moving on, like apart from Midnight, we do have one more person, and that would be who's the last guy left in the tier list that we have not mentioned. It's
Illumina.
Illumina. Yes.
Illumina.
Alright. So what about Illumina then?
Probably the most interesting player. In terms of accomplishment, I really want to put him 5, but I did this system where number wise, like if you don't get like the ratings I put there, so sadly, he's for me personally opinion he's a 5, but number says 4, so number is 4. He is the only player that got 2 wins in this year, which is very, very impressive. June and August, which is the fortune hand. Wait, is it fortune hand? June is. Oh no, sorry. June and August. Which is during the stable month, during the mini of World Uproot, and also the fortune hand
Second
era.
month also.
Yeah, second month. So those months are the stable months, I would say, because there are months that we already figure out the meta. You probably can play the meta very well, and you probably have all the information you need so that you can play optimal. So he did very well, being able to grab first place this year. And I want to put in like in terms of consistency, he did miss out 2 months, which
The
is
first 2
January and
months,
February.
right?
Yes, because of university things, he had to admit to university. He has no time to practice or play. He did started SVO last year. I dig a bit, so I think he did alright as well. Like probably some bubbles here and there as well, and he did say that he didn't really have any intention to like probably try hard, but then eventually June came out and he won, and then August came out and he won,
He won.
and then woo, yeah.
I just won, you know.
I just
That was
won.
cool, I guess.
Yeah, you know,
that's cool, I
so I guess this kind of like tells the story of like, you know, there are Selfie players that are going like, oh man, I didn't play like January and February. I could have probably made it if I played those, right? But you know, Illumina did kind of prove us wrong, right? He did miss the first 2, but there he is in Contenders Cup, right? So the other interesting thing I found out is that I guess East and Ignite might probably remember when they did an interview with him, but like his second SVO win for that month was also like his birthday, so he kind of like got that
Yeah.
birthday buff, and then it just went ahead. and
Birthday
win.
buff.
Yeah, and then of course being the representative for HSK, which is you know, they've been quiet for quite a while, but I guess then he's also like the HSK dark horse for the year, like how Sutera was the dark horse for last year as
Oh.
well, right? So maybe he is able to repeat the Ultra Sutera's performance from last year as well for the upcoming Contenders Cup.
Rest in peace, Glow. You didn't deserve that, man. But
So yeah, I guess the only thing also I want to say is in terms of experience, not really much. Oh, sorry, in terms of consistency, like mathematically, because he missed the 2 first month, the average is obviously going to be very bad. Sorry to say that. I did try to calculate like if I don't include the first 2 months, is this going to be unfair? It's going to be super consistent, and I can't do that. So I have to do it based on math. So consistency wise, not there because the first 2 months only. That's the only reason. If you don't count the first 2 months, it's pretty consistent. And then we talk about experience again. He only started like Midnight last year. Not much to say about that. Not much, no tops also last year, and I didn't get much info why he started SBO, etc. But he's also in HSK, like you mentioned. Maybe they're quiet down, but I still have respect on like the OG teams. Like they probably have like a lot of experience that they can share with him, like practice training. Who knows? They have some secret technique. Like you want to practice him, prep him up, and then have some secret tech so that he can win contenders. Who knows? So that's all for me.
Alright, so maybe we can move on to a more interesting topic. This kind of just popped up in my head. So okay, just for the 3 of you, right? So imagine like you're in the shoes of this player, and you're going to go for the Contenders Cup. There's 1 week left. You're going to lock your decks. You know the meta's like always evolving and whatnot. So what is your approach for this? Like, do you do you play it safe and just play with the good stuff, or are you like gonna just go big and or go home? Like where we'll just play like super hard on counters, and I'm just like gonna like pray that I get into the right matchups and things like that. What's your approach if you were the one playing it?
If I can start off here, I think that this is one of those months where an expansion is just released, and I don't want to get ahead of myself to future topics for today, but I thought the meta might have been solved like last week during the Contenders Cup for the West region, but even this weekend, you've got people running the Japanese Rage Leagues, the JCGs this week, earlier this week. Decks are still kind of up in the air for a lot of classes. I mean, we're starting to see a resurgence of Forest for some reason, which is really awkward. Shimon put out some really hyper aggressive sword list that he's taking to Rage this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, knowing that and thinking about how things are kind of all over the place right now, I would just play something I feel comfortable with. If I feel like I can win in within 10 turns, I can beat Sword and hopefully Shadow, I think that'd be good.
All right. How about Igni?
Yeah, I would just play the decks that I know are good. I'd go to shadowversewins.com.
Dirty ass net decker.
Deck it.
Take the.
Alright, how about Crisome? Like hypothetically, let's say you were still in the Contenders
I
Cup,
made it right. I actually dreamt about this. Not gonna lie, I was about to say that. Why you asked me this question? I did dream about this. I'm gonna say this. I was very actually emotionally destroyed. So whatever. So for me personally speaking, I always been the advocate of playing good decks. I was never advocate of if this deck counter the top tier 1 but loses to everything, it's probably not worth bringing. I was never like a fan of bringing anti-meta decks, what people like to say. I am a fan of bringing decks that have overall good matchups. What it means is that the deck might lose to the best deck, let's say Shadow, right? Let's say, for example, let's just say Dragon loses to Shadow, but it beats everything else. Why not just bring the deck? Although it's probably not going to beat the best deck, but you have good matchup across the table, that kind of thing. So for me, if I want to bring for this year, it's very hard, like what you say, decks are still up the air. One moment in the first 2 weeks, we have Sword being 60% in JCG, and one moment Sword is 16%.
Yeah, correct. And then Shadow and Heaven artifacts, they're all moving up.
Yeah, and then now Artifact is not popular. Control Forest is back. No, sorry, Control Portal is back. So a lot of
Crisome, you glitched out.
They're not consistent.
When you're about to give us the tech, you just glitched out. And you you said.
Someone stopped you.
Back?
How could that have happened?
Oh,
what did you say?
Oh, okay, let me repeat. So, what did I say? Okay, so for example, Artifact, right, was consistent, 50% always there, 50%, 48% around there, do it plus and minus 50%. So out of nowhere today, Control Portal is much more popular than Artifact in JCG. Out of nowhere today. So there is that thing where things like what he said, decks are still up in the air, none of the decks are showing up properly and stuff like that. And yeah, and this East just show up this picture. Yeah, see, this matchup table that East just put up. For me, players shouldn't look at the JCG statistics, to look at matchups. What do you want to fight? What do you think will be popular? Stuff like that.
Are you talking about that rock, scissors, paper
yeah, the
thing?
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Also, to show that up on stream, that's probably the best version of what decks are kind of going around right now, with the exception of the Forest deck. But I think this really summarizes what could be good in the current meta.
I mean, I guess it's also the nature of the expansion. I think this is one of the few expansions that it's pretty diverse and healthy, right? You pretty much see quite a lot of representation. There's a lot of there's a lot of mixed matchups, and things are always evolving. In fact, it might even come to the point where we might approach to the end of the expansion, and things are just still evolving because of the whole rock, scissors, paper nature of it, right? So it kind of reminds me of certain other TCGs where you can go to tournaments and you're just trying to predict the meta of the week rather than the month or the overall meta. So that's something interesting to look at as well. Okay, so yeah, anything
bringing
else?
decks, just like OnlyFans, it's all about the spread, right? So
yeah,
you just have to make sure that your matchups are good.
Whoa.
Bring them in.
Yeah.
Win the
Anyway,
tournament.
But
actually, I didn't really
of course, you need to take note that like for Contenders Cup, it's different from the usual SVO season. You know, there's no bans involved, so you technically kind of have like 3 lives with your deck. So even if like you have like one bad matchup and good amongst the rest, it's pretty good, right? Like you know, you just need
Yeah.
to not queue into it. But if that's the last deck and you happen to queue into it, then that's kind of too bad.
Oh. But there's one thing I want to say. The only thing I would definitely not do contender is bring sword. I rest my case.
All right, there we have it. Okay,
Remains shots fired.
shots fired, man.
I'm a sword main, by the way. And I'm saying that. I'm a sword main, so yeah.
You gotta bring Shimon's aggressive sword list.
I actually agree with that. So we will talk about meta later, I guess. We have that right.
I mean, we are kind of talking about it
Oh
right
yeah,
now
we are
already.
talking about it, right? True.
Yeah, but
Right.
of course you have nothing else to add on. I guess we can just move on to like the
Yes.
other stuff, right? So okay, so with that, I think we wrapped up pretty well for the 2020 season, the players, of course the so-called power rankings that we've been looking at, expectations, you know how the meta game's like. So I guess we can move on to the next one. Would be maybe we can start talking about who's your favorites to win this tournament, despite the power ranking that Crisome did. So let's move on. Let's see. Maybe Igni, you can let us know who's your favorite, who are you rooting for, and things like that.
My mind says Sad Feeder, but my heart says SEO.
You better say SEO, he'll beat the shit out of you.
It's gonna happen
Nah,
again.
man. If I root for SEO, he's gonna lose for sure. So I guess I'll root for Sad Feeder.
Damn.
All right.
I think Sadfeed is the safe pick. For me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go full quarter zone here, full heart. Kyo, I'm not being paid, you guys. I promise. You. I
Simp.
just yeah.
Simp.
Sim.
Can't
Sim.
believe it.
Y'all some haters,
Sim.
man. Kyo, and then if not Kyo, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say no to Essia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
He's the guy
he-
I think who deserves some shine.
yeah, he was the powerhouse back like when he was in Europe, right? So we're hoping to see that repeat here as well. It's just a bummer that like we don't get as many slots here in SEAO as compared to the West. So I guess winner takes all for.
Well,
this
you have two
particular one.
continents to account for.
Yeah,
Right?
that's right. But I do hope we get a little bit more next year or something. Okay, so how about Crisome? Who are you rooting for?
I want to stress first that I am helping some of the players, so my opinion
Uh-oh.
might differ. Okay, so I am
Biased.
actually prepping them, so I can't actually say much. But the only thing I can say is the safest choice is all set feed, because look at that 555. It's very obvious that set feed is my favorite right there. Fellow Malaysian. Of course, I have to support my brother, and then he has been performing over, and this is the first time he actually had a chance to be contenders. The other months he just bum up because real life happens. So I do hope that he wins. I think Safin. Yeah, let's go with Safin. Because because overall, like I really want him to win, because it shows that if you just give him this man a chance, just give him a chance, he can take it all. He finally has the chance. So I hope he does it as well.
All right.
I like my favorite part of this is how you're the one who wrote down the numbers, and then you're like, "Look at those numbers; they don't lie." It's like you're the one who wrote it down. What
I'm a man of statistics, Iggy. Don't worry. Check those numbers, bitch.
Although, okay, I do have a second favorite.
You gave him a full score, and then you're like, "Look, the numbers don't lie." Hey, it's like you're the one who wrote them in the first place.
Hey man.
Okay, so that's what the brain's telling him. So now touch your
Yeah,
heart,
that's the
Crisome.
brain. Yes.
What does your heart tell you?
like Igni, my heart just tell me one fella. People are not gonna like messages. I do hope in my heart is Bima. This guy is also another one where it's like Set Feeder, where he had a lot of opportunity. Bima had the opportunity. He just didn't have the luck. He just got cucked left and right. He overthink. I'm looking at you. If you're watching this, don't overthink. So yes, he overthinks sometimes, and then he just So yeah, I do hope Bima does well. He's probably gonna do well. So I do hope that he doesn't overthink of what he's bringing and etc. and do what he do. Just be the good player. So that's it for me about Bima.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. Okay, I guess everyone's expecting me to say something too, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So of
sir.
course my heart goes to Kyo. Like he's been
Just
a
say Kyo
he's,
already.
he's been
We
a
already
he's been
know.
a great
We
teammate.
already know.
He's been a
Yes.
great teammate, and we have all been working hard together. Like even though like I'm just gonna like confess like I'm a huge neck decker of Kyo. So whatever Kyo's playing, most of the time I'm the guy playing it in that same tournament. And we always try to like fix things together. Of course he's the better player, so he usually takes it to the top. Of course my heart goes to Kyo. I do hope that he takes it and win it. Like he's been there since the OG days, like even way before SVOs even were happening. It's like dating even back to like EXG days and things like that. So I do hope that he is able to see the fruits of his labor finally coming true. But of course still statistics, whatnot you call it, says otherwise. Like of course there are a lot of good and strong players, and of course I think if like hard aside, like I feel I'll probably go for like Sad Feeder. Set Fiddle or SEA, like one of them as well. Unfortunately, like oh yeah, and probably Dream Life, to be honest. Like every year when I see him like get so like devastated of like not being
Oh
able
yeah.
to make it, I always feel so bad for him. Like he went through that like once in 2018, and then he overcame that, and then 2019 wasn't so well for him, and then of course 2020 got saved by a certain virtual girl. I don't know if next year he has another virtual girl trying to save him, but yeah, maybe
more VTuber.
but maybe yeah. I just hope he makes it far enough, or he does well enough so that he doesn't feel like he let himself down. Like I think the past few years he probably felt like he let himself down at certain points by not playing his best or something like that. Yeah.
He is very hard on himself. Like he was just to say he was also an ex DB member, and we did practice a lot and talk a lot.
Yes.
So I can say that he is very hard on himself. Like even if he does like a small misplay. So let's say for example, you didn't you had the not liter that missing liters that quite big. Let's say you can set up liter in 1-2 turns, but you're still gonna win because of tempo. He will be very hard and stuff like I could have won. Why did I win? And then we're like, but you're winning tempo. No, I could have won. He is very hard on himself.
Yeah.
So he learned to relax now. I'm happy that he's learned to relax and not so hard on himself. Because not everyone can be perfect. We look at stream, people mix liter, people don't play optimal. It happens. Pressure happens.
Yeah, pressure does
I mean, the
happen.
WGP champion last year missed lethal, right? I mean, if that doesn't sell the story more than what Crisome says, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you.
It wasn't Miss Lethal. It was extended BM. Didn't you see what he did afterward?
It's all good, brother. It's all.
As long as you win, you can always pass it off as extended BM.
Imagine BMing for $1 million.
That was crazy.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah, I mean we have not have that scenario where like someone tried to BM and failed horrendously. I mean we've seen it for certain other tournaments, just not WGP. So
Yeah.
By the way, I was looking at the chat of the stream, and I've just gotten a message from Kyo, and he's also betting, and he says, I'm betting for Sad Feeder, by the way.
yeah.
So-
Kia, what?
Statistics,
Kia, what?
man. Statistics says everything.
If you don't put yourself first place, dude, I don't know what to tell you.
Gotta believe
Gotta
in
believe
yourself, Kyo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please
man.
Kyo.
Believe
Rap
in
on the
me who
rappers
believes
and
in
shit.
you.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta believe.
Yeah, I can already see all the memes coming out on that day during Contenders Cup on stream.
Sad figure.
Yeah. Alright, so I guess that's all we have like for the topics. Like, is there anything that you guys would like to talk about and bring up? If not, we pretty much could conclude today's session.
I think
Any
covered quite a
takeaways?
bit.
I hope this session was an interesting one for like our casters as well. Like kind of like doing a little bit of research so you guys can kind of talk about it during Contenders itself as well.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you. It's a lot of good information we kind of covered today, and I hope that, if possible, we could tell folks to watch this before the Contenders Cup as well, because it does provide a pretty good story of how the year's gone, like how players have qualified, which is I think very interesting.
Yep. Okay, so just a gentle reminder for everyone. So Contenders Cup will be happening on the 24th of October, 11 a.m. SG time, and of course you have Igni and Is to be your caster for the tournament. Not this Igni right now though. This VTuber Igni that's moving his mouth and not really talking right now.
The tracking needs work.
The track
why does
it.
his mouth look like that? Oh God. Oh Lord.
If this is the future of entertainment,
No,
I
close your
don't.
mouth, Igni.
If this is the future of
This is
entertainment,
the future of entertainment.
I don't want to be involved anymore. I am
Hey,
retiring
what can I
from
say?
streaming. I'm
You have
retiring
to
from
ride the wave.
Igni, make out with the girl behind you.
streaming. Oh no.
Nobody on stream can even see because the cameras aren't on screen.
No, it is on now.
Put the cameras on stream.
Yeah.
Make out with the girl
Alright.
behind you.
Hell no. What do I look like, a weeb to you or something?
You do.
That's crazy.
You
That's
look
crazy.
like weeb content to me. Like, could you make out with the?
It's not happening.
My face right now just says everything.
Come on, you know he's not gonna do anything until you throw him like a 10k yen super chat or something.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm hoping for, man. I gotta get that new. I need a new phone. So, hey, if anybody wants to simp for me,
Show your
feel
feet.
for it.
Show your virtual feet.
No, it's not happening.
Alright,
I'm gonna
okay.
where's the expression for angry face? No, there it is.
There it is.
What is that? Oh,
I'm mad.
no. You look like you're constipated.
Yeah, the expressions need work too. Dude, this guy is literally the default model, and I just changed it a little bit, and that's it. I was gonna pay for a model.
Alright, okay, I guess let's just do some final shoutouts before we end the session. So let's go with Igni first.
Yeah, hello, Ignideus. Google me.
That's a pretty flex.
Okay,
That's
good
a-
flex
that's a
there.
Google me.
How about you,
I'm the
Stan?
first. I'm in the first 10 results.
Alright, is anything for you?
You guys can find me at East_ML on pretty much any platform, so I'll be there.
Check out his stream. He does cooking lessons.
As soon as October's over, I'm back to cooking. We're gonna start cooking video game food. This is gonna be fun.
Oh what? Okay.
Play Final Fantasy
Looking forward.
15, so
I'm
Ignis
looking
can
forward
cook
to like those Monster Hunter kind of like recipes then.
in. Ooh, ooh.
Yeah, the big
Ooh, I've got
chunky
some cool
ones.
stuff planned.
Yeah. Okay. How about Crisome? Come,
Yeah.
Crisome.
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter, etc. Apparently, I tried Google myself. It did came out. So you
Mhm.
can also Google me. Apparently, I don't
Wow!
know
Wow!
how
Wow! You
why,
actually
but
tried
what-
to Google
Oh,
yourself.
flex over here.
Oh
The
man.
flex. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
tried. So yeah, it actually works, but whatever. So yeah, Google, follow me. You can also like join the Discord, etc. I stream. I'm a beggar. You can watch me rage.
You're pip.
That's about it.
Yeah.
I googled Crisome and I found a lady named Catherine on Pinterest. So
Very nice.
I don't-
Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh,
Very
moonlighting.
nice.
All right. Okay.
Alright. Okay, yeah, and of course for me, Bjorn, you can just check me out on everything that's below in the description. Yeah, pretty much pop out of my search, so if you just look up for my search, you'll see me. I'm always in the Discord. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna apologize first, but you're gonna see a lot of VTuber stuff. So you like VTuber stuff and the retweets, then just go ahead and follow them.
And there it is, Crisome. How do you feel about that? He's never coming back on the MS Talk ever again.
I am in pain.
And this is
I
probably
am-
this might be my last time. Like Kill's probably gonna come back being the host after that.
I am in pain.
Yeah, I'm controlling very hard. Like even the BGMs are not VTuber BGMs today, by the way. You know, if you actually like go for the MS Cup, it's like a whole different story.
Chat says I googled Crisome and Google asked me, "Do you mean Crimson?"
I mean, there's a story. There's a reason why my. Okay, I guess I can say before we end. Like the original name, like I was 10 years old. I wanted to have the color crimson as my username, and I
Okay.
discovered 5 years later it
You've
was
been
spelled
spelling
wrong.
it wrong. The
Yes.
Started Crisome.
Crisomglish,
Uh,
Crisomglish strikes
you can't-
again.
I,
That's
I,
tight.
yeah. This is why I'm Papega, guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can. If you guys want Papega, stuff, you can
That's
check
good.
out me. Yeah, yeah.
You're
Uh,
allowed to change it, you know. You don't have to. I used to be DDR fan Mick, and now I'm not.
Nah, it's fine. I keep it that way. I like the origin.
Yeah. Alright, so again, just a reminder for the Contenders Cup, do check it out, and of course, I might as well just do a little bit of mini sellout while I'm at it. So
Do it.
after the Contenders
Do it.
Cup,
Twitch Prime.
you can always come over to the Message Cup that's happening on the 25th of October. So you know, once Contenders Cup is done and everyone's all happy and you are inspired by certain decks in that particular tournament and you decide to neck deck for a little quick chance to win nice emblems and sleeves from Battlefy, you can always head over to the Battlefy page for Message and just sign up for the tournament. Yep. Alright, so with that, I guess we can conclude this session. So once again, thanks Igni, thanks Is, and thanks Crisome for actually coming over today. We really had a great time today. So hopefully we have more of this in the future. We do have more things in store in the upcoming months. And with that, yeah, bye bye everyone.
Take care,
Hey.
guys. Thanks
See
for having me.
ya.